Good morning or good evening to you, friend and watcher on YouTube. You know, it was a friend of mine's birthday today on Facebook, and that got me to thinking, you know what? Time is just crazy. So, in honor of time being crazy, let's make an analog clock in JavaScript. I got my wits, I got my grapefruit juice. I'm ready to write some code. You get your grapefruit juice and meet me in CodePen right now. Yeah, sorry about my webcam, folks. Looks like it's a bit fudged up today, but we are still going to write some code or something. I don't know. They're not paying me for this. So here we are in CodePen. We want to make a clock, right? So first, we're going to need the time. Time. All right, so let's see. Now let's make it a const. Const time equals date dot now. So that's looking good. And let's just use our HTML to figure that out. So we'll just make a div and we'll make the ID equal to time. Time. And here in the JS, we'll say document.innerHTML. Now we'll say time.innerHTML equals time. That's looking good. Oh, no, go away, stupid thing. We got an error here? No. Is it working? Okay, it is working, and there's the time, but why isn't our time showing up on the page? Yeah, there's the div with the element time, but it has nothing in it. I guess this code isn't working or whatever. Let's just try it some other way. Let's say document.getElement by ID. And we'll try the code like that. Okay, there it goes. It works. Oh yeah, because I just described this time variable right above. See, that's why you're not supposed to use these IDs as direct accessors like I did, because it's error prone. But here's the time. All right, so to make a clock, we need to figure out what the hour, the minute, and the day values of this time are. How do we even do that? I actually don't know. Let's fiddle around in the console here. So I'll make a time var g equals date equals new date. And so g dot get minutes. Good, so that works. So that seems to get us our minutes. So let's rewrite this code a bit. Instead of date dot now, we'll say new date const minutes equals time dot get minutes. And then we'll just do the same for seconds and hours. And we'll make the inner HTML equal to minutes. This isn't in order, but that doesn't matter. We don't play by the rules. Seconds, hours. So that's all looking good. It basically seems accurate according to my clock. I think these are actually all a minute behind because the first minute in an hour is actually 0 for this. So yeah, let's just give these all +1s. And then if that's wrong, well, that's okay, because sometimes you're wrong when you write code. So there's our 3 numbers. Now we need to turn those numbers into a clock. How are we going to do it? Can we do it? Let's drink some grapefruit juice and find out. That's some good stuff, folks. All right, so we all know what an analog clock looks like. It's a big round thing. So to do this, an SVG would probably be the best. Let's see if SVGs work in CodePen. We'll add an SVG tag, and inside we'll just put a big ol' erect. Rect. Okay. And we'll give it a fill of black and a height of 20 and a width of 20. And it worked. Wow, look at it. There's our SVG. All right, so we are set for SVGs. Let's get rid of this div called time, so we just have the SVG. And we'll also get rid of this. But we still have our minutes, hours, and seconds. That's looking good. All right, let's start turning this SVG into a bit of a clock. We'll make this rectangle a big background. So we'll make it a light gray with hashtag DDD, everyone's favorite character from Smash Bros. We'll make it a bit bigger. Let's say 400 by 400. And there's our thing. It seems to be the wrong height for some reason. Okay, yes, the SVG also needs to have a width and a height. There we go. There is our background for a clock. All right, now let's give it a circle that's going to kind of be the clock, the big old clock frame for a clock. So how do you do a circle in SVG? I'm going to go ahead and say it's probably circle. And let's see, it needs to have a X and a Y in the middle. Is that CX? This is confusing. I'm just going by the skin of my teeth here, folks. CY is 200 pix. Is it R or CR? How could anyone even guess? R equals 150 pix. Oh wow, look, there it is. Okay, good stuff. And, you know, let's just keep it solid, but we'll make the fill a different color. How about BBB? That's good. That's looking good. And we'll make the radius a little bit bigger. How about 184? Looking good. All right, now comes the hard part. First, we got to get our hands on the thing before we even start trying to put the numbers on the face of this clock. We need to get the spinning hand. So let's start with one that's a representation of the second hand. If we can get that one working, then we're going to be able to get this working, guaranteed. So we'll make a rect, and we'll make it a tall, skinny rectangle. Rectangle height equals 150 pixels. X equals 200 pixels. Y equals 200 pixels. Width equals 10 pixels. And fill equals black. Okay, so this is good. It's decided that it's going to start the rectangle from its edge, which saves a lot of work. That's actually pretty cool. So we have that, and what we want to do is we want to rotate it by a fraction of 360 degrees based on how many seconds are in the thingy-mabobber. Also, it's a little bit thick. Let's make it 8 pixels and make the fill actually 333. And if you're wondering where I get these numbers, I just make them up. All right, so we want to make this line thingy here rotate. How are we going to do that? I actually don't know. I've made a lot of kind of SVG libraries, but beats me how you do it. Let's see, can we just give it a rotation property? I don't think so, but let's try it. Rotation equals 20. 20R. just 20 pixels. No, that doesn't make any sense. You can't rotate by pixels. Right, all right, let's give it a transform property. And that's in strings, and it should be, what do we got here? Rotate 45? I think I'm on the right track, but the syntax for this is real crazy. Let's just look it up. SVG, how to rotate a rectangle. Whoa. Stack Overflow. This time I'm going to Stack Overflow. It's way better than W3 Schools. I'm still embarrassed we went there last time. And skip to the answer, and it says, of course. It's rotate followed by round brackets, followed by a bunch of numbers. Let's try it. So rotate round bracket 45. Whoa, that's gone. 4500. It's gone all the way over here for some reason. That's just not right. If we give it 2. Take 2, 3. Yeah, it's not rotating off its middle. It's kind of just wandering off. All right, so this guy's saying how to rotate it around the starting point, which is pretty cool. But it doesn't really make a lot of sense. I'm not really understanding what he's writing here. And it's saying we want to translate it by half of its width and height. All right. So let's give it a translate of, 75? Maybe 100? Okay, good. This has to say pix, so I kind of like that. No, it looks like pix is not okay. How do they do it here? Just 2 numbers. Translate 75, 0. Tricky. All right, let's try and make a container for this rectangle and rotate that. Maybe that'll give us the effect we need. So we'll put a G here as a container. And now we'll put the rect inside that. And we'll take the transform out and put it on the G. Yeah, you know what? You guys are my Gs because you're watching this video. Isn't that just nice? Okay, and it is just gone now. Gone from the page. No one even sees it anymore. Okay, this needs a closing quote. And there we are. Let's bring this back around to 0. Looking good. So let's transform it up half the height of the rectangle. Or negative the height of the rectangle? That looks good. Now it's on the top, but can we rotate it? No. All right, what if we put a rotate now on the rectangle again? Will that work? Come on. No, it doesn't work. It just goes somewhere crazy. All right, let's have a closer look. Where is this G tag that we have? Here's the rect. And the G tag is just kind of controlling it. We can give it rotate, but it just kind of goes off the screen where it wants. Okay, back to Stack Overflow. Rectangle, rotate around point, SVG. Okay, look at this. This guy's doing multiple transforms. So he's moving it, he's rotating it, then he's moving it back. And the rightmost transform is applied first. Let's just copy this code with transform and just see what happens if we put it for the transform of our G. Just kind of going off because it's kind of the wrong height. Let's get rid of these. Or no, these first values, these x values. And then make these numbers right. Just kind of going off on its own there on that side of the screen. Maybe mix up the negatives? No, maybe put the whole height in. Close. Let's try putting this transform on the inner rectangle. This outward G isn't really helping us. No, it's not rotating around its point. This guy made a fiddle. All right, so it seems like it's only going to rotate around its very center. Let's get rid of everything but the first translate. So that pushes it all the way down there. But we don't want it down there. We kind of want it on the top of the screen. There we go. Now can we rotate it 35? No, because the center of rotation isn't where we want it to be. That goes all the way off there. Now can we rotate it by 45? Now it just disappears. And what if we translate it back? It's just somewhere crazy. All right, back to the drawing board. SVG, let's try rotate a rectangle around one end. Or maybe SVG rotate define pivot. Right, okay, I got it. Our pivot's wrong. Let's get it right. I'm ready for this. So we'll give the container G. Let's put a rectangle in the G just to guide where we're going, and we'll say height equals 20 pix, width equals 20 pix, fill equals black. So there that is at the center of this G. We want the G to be in the middle of the screen so it rotates around that. There we go. What to do with this second rectangle? So I guess that's fine from there. Let's get rid of these translates. And let's see. So let's give these position properties to this rect. Now it's basically at the middle of the screen. What happens when we rotate it? No, it just goes off to some crazy thing. All right, but what if we put our child rectangle inside? All right, here we go. Oh yeah, a rect can't hold another rect. We got to make this a G. And get rid of these three properties. Get rid of this containing G. All right, a G needs a transform. It can't have an X and a Y. So we'll say G transform equals translate 200, 200. And not pixels? We don't want pixels here. There we go. All right, so now our rectangle is in the right place. It's right in the middle of that G. Now, I'm really hoping when we rotate this, it's gonna work. Hey, look at it go. It's rotating around the right point this time. All right, that only took about 20 minutes. So now it's more or less rotating right. Looks okay to me. I guess the rectangle's a little bit off center. Can we fix that? We just want to make it go half its width to one direction. So we'll say translate 0, 4. -4, 0. -4, 0. That looks about right. Let's fiddle around with some other things. Does it still look right at, say, 125 degrees? Yes, our second hand is good. So now let's update this code so that this thing always reflects the seconds. And let's see where that leaves us. We're doing pretty good. We're getting there, folks. So we'll make a render function. And you'll pass it in an object with a seconds property. And we'll call render at the beginning, passing in seconds. So here, let's just make sure it works. So let's give this ID to this rectangle. And we'll say second hand dot, how do you change an SVG attribute using JavaScript? To the instruction zone. Looks like we got set attribute here, folks. Looks good to me. So we'll set attribute, and we'll make the transform property the following. We'll just give it a random rotate to make sure it works. Rotate 980. translate -4, 0. Cool, so that looks like it's working. Does it work with 90? Does it point in the right direction? All right, so the second hand is pointing in the right direction. I actually didn't think we would even get here. We are so close to having this thing like ticking and stuff. Ah, yay. So we'll set an interval for every 200 milliseconds. Oh, yes. You guys should have known from the very beginning. I do not play by the rules. And every time we call that interval, we'll call render. Now let's update this script so we get the minutes and the seconds and the hours inside the interval. And let's just set this up so we pass an hour, minutes, seconds, hours. So that's all looking good. Now we need to figure out the seconds angle. Const seconds angle. So if seconds were 60, then the angle would be 360. So we'll take 60 divided by the number of seconds. So that's the percentage through to 60 it is. And we'll multiply that by 360. Is that going to work? Pfft, maybe. Let's update this to be a template string and pop this angle in here. What's going to happen? Getting an error. Seconds is not defined. Here. Oh yeah, let's get rid of this render call. Okay, so it's going, but it's 1,000,000% pointing in some crazy random direction. Who even knows what that is supposed to be? Is it seconds divided by 60? Is that what we want? Yeah! Look at it go! We did it. Cool, look at our little clock go. It's ticking. It's ticking on. So this is great. We pretty much did it. Mission accomplished. Good work, me. But we're almost there. I don't think we're going to have enough time to add, numbers to it like I wanted to. This is already a long video, but we will add the hour hand and the minute hand. Are you ready? Let's code along. So we can put the other rectangles in this little middle point. Let's start with a minute hand. So we'll copy that, make this called minute hand, and then make it about twice as thick and a slightly different color. A little bit lighter, 555. And we'll get rid of these default transforms since that's just corrupt. It's just confusing us. So there it is in its appropriate spot. Now we'll update the render function and just do the same thing for minutes. Pass in minutes and hours. So minutes divided by 60 times 360. And now we'll copy this and update this to minute hand dot set attribute. And the rotation is going to be the minutes angle. And also this translate, it's twice as thick, so instead of -4, it's going to be -8. And that's weird because it seems to be basically upside down here. It's actually 1 minute past 8, not 1 minute past thing, before 8:30. Okay, we'll fix this later. Don't you worry. For now, let's just add an hour hand so we can be sure what's going on. Let's do the same thing here. Hour hand. And we'll make it a little bit shorter. And even thicker. And the darkest color. And we'll add code here in our render. And this should be hours divided by 24. It's a different system, but still multiplied by 360. And then we'll take the hours hand, or the hour hand, and make the rotation equal to the hours angle. And we'll translate it minus 15. Okay, good. So this is all looking good, except our clock is upside down. It's actually just a little bit past 8. What if we just rotate this whole transform by 180 degrees? That's still not the right time. 90 degrees? Negative 90 degrees? Right, so it starts at the bottom and then starts rotating around to the right, but it should really start at the top. What if we just flip it? Not quite. Scale 1, -1? Okay, but now it goes backwards. That's not the right time. Or is it? Let's see what hour it thinks it is. Right, so this is how it would look accurately on a 24-hour clock. We just got to change the hours here to be a modulus of 12. Hey, that looks close enough to the real time for me, folks. That's all the time we have for today. We made a jokes clock. It's for real. Please subscribe to the channel and also share this video if you liked it. Put this clock on your own portfolio. Add some zazz to it, please. It needs a little zazz, maybe some numbers. I wish we had time to add numbers to it today. And yeah, let me know what you come up with. I've been the Code Whisperer. We'll see you next time.